Greetings to all. This is Ranjini working as an assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering at RMD Engineering College. In this video, we can see about looping statements. What is loop? A loop is used to execute the block of code several times according to the condition given in the loop. Suppose if you want to execute certain codes an n number of times, then we will go for looping. There are three types of loop: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. For loop, it executes the code until the condition is false. So there are three parameters in for loop, that is initialization, condition, and increment and decrement. For the syntax of for loop is for, we have to open and then we have to initialize the variable, then it will be the condition, then increment or decrement. Inside the parenthesis we have to do the code which has to be done. So this is a flow chart. First part will be the initialization. First we have to initialize the variable, then we have to check the condition. If the condition is true, we have to execute the statements. Then we have to move back to the sentence and we have to increment or decrement the value. Then we have to check the condition. Again, if the condition is true, we will execute the statements, else we will move out of the loop. Program to print a number using for loop. So here we have to print 20 to 16, numbers from 20 to 16. So into the for loop, I am initializing a variable to be 20. So since I have to start from 20, so I had initialized the variable to be 20. Then I'm checking with the condition whether the condition 20 is greater than 15. Why so 15 is I have to print up to 16. Now, so if or else I can put I greater than 15 or else I greater than or equal to 60. So now I'm checking whether 20 is greater than 15. Yes, 20 is greater than 15. So I'll enter into the loop. Inside the loop I have given to print I. Now I'll print I. So now my value of I is 20. So now 20 will be printed. Again I'll move back to the for, and here now the decrement option is given. So now my value is 20. Once after decrementing, I value will be 19. Now again I'll check with the condition, yes, whether 19 is greater than 15. Yes, it's true. So now again I'll print the value of I. Again I'll decrement the value to 18 and check the condition. I'll print it. Now I'll check. Now I have decremented to 17. I'll check the condition. I'll print it. Suppose now the value is 15, means I'll check whether 15 is greater than 15. No, it's equal. So condition is false. So I will move out of the loop. There is nothing out of the loop. So my output will be 20, 19, 18, 17 and 16. So this is a program to print in the increment order. So here only change I had made is I have in the increment part, I have increment or decrement part, I have incremented the value of 5. So first 20 will be printed. I'll check whether 20 is greater than 25. Condition is false true. So I'll print the value of 5. Again, I'll move back to the loop. I'll increment the value from 20 to 21. I'll check it with the condition. Until the condition is false, I'll print the loop. Next one is the while loop. So here, the while loop. Here also, we will do the loop. We'll repeat the process until the condition is true. So here, what happens is this loop is called as an entry control loop. Why so? In the while loop, we will check the condition. Once if the condition is true, only we will execute the loop. The for loop is also called as an entry control loop. For loop also, if the condition is true, only we will execute certain codes. If the condition is false, we will never execute the code. So for loop and while loop is called as an entry control loop. As like for loop, while loop also has three parts. Now, three parameters, that is initialization, condition, increment or decrement. So here the initialization part comes out of the loop, out of the while loop. See, in this program, while main, here itself I have initialized the value of I to 1. So now my value of I is 1. Here I am checking that. Then next part will be the syntax of while loop will be while test condition. Then I'll enter into the body of the loop. After, if the condition is true, until the condition is true, I'll execute the body of the loop. Once after that, I'll execute the next statement. So this is a flow chart. So if the condition is true, I'll enter into the body of the loop, and if the condition is false, I'll move to the next statement. Out of the loop. So in this program, I'll check whether 1 is less than 5. Yes, 1 is less than 5. So inside I'll enter into the loop. Into the loop, what I had given as a printf. Printf welcome to C. So welcome to C is printed. The next part is so first I have initialized the value out of the while loop. Initialize the value. Next part is the increment part. Increment part here in the while loop, into the body of the loop itself, we will increment the variable. So here I had given as I plus plus. Now the value of I is 5. Once after the incrementing, the value of I will be 2. So I'll check with 2 greater than 5. Yes, 2 is greater than 5. Again, I'll enter into the loop and I'll print welcome to C. Thus, the process will be repeated until the I value is 4. Now, suppose my I value is 5 means I have now the value of I is 4. Now, I have incremented the value to 5. And again, I'll enter into the loop and I'll check whether 5 is less than 5. No, 5 is equal to 5. So, the condition is false. So, I'll move out of the loop. So, next one is the do while loop. So, here, what the difference between while loop and do loop is first, in while loop, it will check the condition first and it will, if the condition satisfies only, it will print the value, it will execute the body of the loop. In do while loop, what happens is before the checking the condition itself, it will execute the body of the loop once. Once after executing the body of the loop, only it will check for the condition. So here, this do while loop is called as an exit control loop. Here in the do while loop, the syntax for do while loop is first do open. Here we will never execute and we'll check the condition and all. Do open parenthesis. We will write the blocks of code and then close the parenthesis and while followed by condition and semicolon. Here we shouldn't forget to put the semicolon. So do and we will execute the sort of code, then we'll close the parenthesis. After closing the parenthesis, we will write the condition using while condition and semicolon. So the flow chart is, yes, obviously we will execute the statements once the body of the loop will be executed once, then we will check for the condition, then we will check for the condition, then if the condition is true, again we will execute the body of the code, or else we will move on to the next statement. So the same program, how to write the same program using do while loop. Here, what happens is first I have declared, here also there are 3 parameters should be followed: initialization, condition, and then the increment or decrement. Here the initialization part will come out of the do while loop. So first we will initialize the value, then we will enter into the do loop. Here I am printing directly before checking the condition itself. Once I will print welcome to C. Then I will increment the value of I to I plus plus. So increment here also as like while loop, the increment part comes under the body of the loop. I'll increment the part, then only then I will check the value. Now the value of I is 2. I'll check whether 2 is less than 5. Yes, 2 is less than 5. Again, I'll enter into the body of the loop. I'll print welcome to C. Thus, I'll print 4 times. 4 times the welcome to C is printed. Now again, I'll increment the value to 5. Now I'll check with the condition. Yes, condition is not true, so I'll move out of the loop. So this is the difference between this. So in this program, we can see the difference between do loop and do while loop. So here, first program is about do while loop. Here I have declared the value of I to be 1. So our value of I is equal to 1. Here what happens, I will never check the condition and all. Directly I will enter into the loop. Before checking the condition itself, I will enter into the loop. So I will print the value of I. So 1 will be printed. Then now I will increment the value of I. Now the value of I is 2. So here what happens is once after printing 1 only, we are incrementing the value of I. So now value of I is 2. I am checking with the condition. Once after printing 1, I am checking with the condition 2 is less than 1. Yes, the condition is not true. So I'll print, I'll never enter into the loop since the condition is not true. So I'll print out of the loop. So in the next program is for while loop. So while loop, see, first what I will do, I'll check with the condition. I'll initialize the value. Now value of y is 1. I'll check the condition while I is less than 1. Yes, 1 is less than 1. This condition is not true. 1 is not less than 1. 1 is equal to 1. So, condition is not true. Obviously, I will never execute the body of the loop. I will execute the next statement to the loop. The next statement is out of the loop. So, out of the loop is printed. So, in do while loop, what happens? Do while loop also, first I will never check the condition. Before checking the condition itself, I will execute the body of the loop. So, inside the body of the loop, I am supposed to print I. So, value of I is 1. So, 1 is printed. Then I will check the condition. 1 is less than 1. So I have incremented the value to 2. So I have incremented the value to 2. Now 2 is less than. I'll check with whether 2 is less than 1. Oh, the condition is not true. So obviously I'll move on to the next statement out of the loop. The out of the loop is printed. Here what happens is I'll check with the condition once. First before printing it, I'll check the condition once. Then only I will enter into the body of the loop. That's the difference between do loop and while loop. Yes, thank you for the watching the video.